Hi everyone, welcome to Live in Japan. In this show, I'm gonna interview people from different countries who are living in Japan. I'm gonna ask them many questions like what it's like to be living in Japan as a non-Japanese people. Alright, let's get started. Today's our guest is an Indian who was born and raised in Japan and started their own business. Please welcome Kishore Parwani.
Hi Shota, long
Thank
time.
you so much.
Nice meeting you.
Sit down.
Alright, thanks.
Before I ask you many questions, can you introduce yourself a little bit?
I'm Kishore Parwani. Everyone calls me Kish. I was born here in Japan and I've been living here all my life. I live in Kobe, Sanomiya. By nationality, I'm actually Indian. I feel pretty cosmopolitan, international. I'm Indian, born here in Japan, living here all my life, but I went to international school and so I'm fluent in English. That's me. I feel really a mix of all different cultures.
How many languages do you speak?
Well, I speak English and Japanese, and then Indian dialect, which I speak at home with my family. Yeah.
What do you do in Japan?
Actually, I'm running a small exporting trading company. We deal in textiles.
Your target is people from different countries?
That's right, we're exporting mostly to nearby Asian countries like Taiwan, Korea, Bangkok, Thailand, Singapore, Malaysia, mostly neighboring Asian countries. Yeah.
You were born and raised in Japan. Have you been to India?
Well, yeah, when I was a kid, I went like a couple of times, like 3-4 times to visit my relatives or my grandmother to India, but probably it's been more than 20 years since I last visited India.
What is the difference between India and Japan?
India, I know is India like 20 years ago, but of course hygiene and in terms of people's responsibility, neatness, of course Japan is like by far very accurate and very easy to live in. Of course India has its own beauty. Well, anything when everything can be done, there is a way to push things around and things will be done. In Japan, yes is yes, but no is no. But in India, there's always maybe.
Do you think it's good to start a business in Japan?
Oh yes, definitely. As I said, because Japanese people are very straightforward, you don't have to worry about getting cheated or anything like that. Of course, they have their own rules and sets of regulations, but as long as you follow that, they're very straightforward.
Do you think it's good to start a business in Japan as non-Japanese person?
Yes, I think so. In my case, of course, I'm exporting things from Japan. That too has a lot of potential. And on the other hand, of course, a lot of chances for people who want to import their things into Japan, because Japan is still very much open to a lot of new cultures and new ideas.
You think it's hard to speak Japanese? Hard to learn Japanese?
As a foreigner, yeah, not so easy. But even with Japanese people, when they go study abroad, whether it be like a working holiday visa, generally I find foreigners normally speak, maybe a lot of foreigners I know, they speak at least more than one language. When the foreigners come here, somehow I feel, they're pretty fast in learning the language, at least like easy daily communication. On one hand, as you said, there are not so many people who speak so much English, so it's important for the foreigner to come here and be able to learn at least some Japanese, be able to speak the language, because he can't get everything done in English. Unfortunately, no, that's not true. So he has to be able to speak some Japanese or have someone who's like bilingual to help him. I feel like papers, documents have to be written in Japanese. That's, in fact, like for myself, I find that a small problem.
Have you had any struggle or any bad experience because you look not Japanese?
This goes back maybe close like 20 years ago, but there was a time like where, especially like in Tokyo and like that, maybe slight racism, like maybe generally the impression of Japanese people when they think of foreigners, they think of like white, maybe like someone who's a little bit black, but then maybe brown is not something so natural to them. I feel at times, even amongst like between Japanese people, they consider themselves maybe high or something, and then maybe foreigners are a different category, but amongst the foreigners too, I feel they look down upon certain nationalities. Yeah.
Do you have any recommendations or any advice to people who are watching this video?
I keep telling everyone, but Japanese people are very kind-hearted, very helpful, very cooperative. If you were to decide to come here in Japan, I'm sure they'll all be very helpful. Generally, everything's very systematic, so I'm sure you're going to have a good time once you come to Japan.
Well, thank you so much for coming.
Thank you, Shota.
Thank you.
Yeah, thanks.